What is up, my AKA Patters? Peter A. DeLuca here. Welcome to WILDSTORM Wednesday. We're talking about Jim Lee. Jim Lee, prancing around, going from USA to Europe and back again as DC Comics burn. As DC Comics goes through one of its biggest controversies in recent years. What's our guy even doing?
By Nick Robles. I am here to ask you.
All right, so that's 5 variants off rip for the number one. Just throwing that out there. There will be many, many more. Best believe that.
Comes out next DC Tuesday, October 24th. But already the haters and the queerphobes are out in force, doing everything they can to see that this book tanks. They use code and they make it sound like they have legit problems with a book they haven't read yet. But the truth is, they just don't like that there's a queer hero in the upper ranks of the DCU. The only way we can shut these people down is to make this book an undeniable success. The only way to prove to all the big publishers that there's a huge market for authentic stories about LGBTQIA plus characters and that these stories are for everyone is to buy the heck out of books like this. This one's only 6 issues and each one has a few variants. So I'm asking, if you have the means, buy them up. Buy extras to give to people you think really need to read it. Now, you might say this sounds like a great way for Tim Sheridan to make a bundle in royalties. Well, no, I won't make a penny because every single royalty I receive from these 6 issues will go straight to a charity that's very important to me and that I've supported for a long time, the Elton John AIDS Foundation, which works to prevent HIV stigma and provide compassionate care for all communities. I am asking you to join the Corps. If you care about truth and justice, about shining a light in the darkness, if you think comics are and should continue to be for everyone. Or if you just want to force these Comicsgate trolls back under the bridge they crawled out from, please support our book and send a message that the bullying and the lies and the hate have to stop. Everyone deserves to see themselves in comics. Everyone needs allies, and if you're an ally, now is the time to step up. We outnumber them.
Guilt tripping,
so let's
bro.
pool our power, vote with our wallets, and beat these assholes. Add as many of these 4 variant covers for Alan Scott, the Green Lantern, to your pull list today. Pick them up in store next week, Tuesday the 24th.
AKA Pad here. Let's just get right into it. Subscribe, support, leave a comment. You guys know I earned it. Guys, I'm too excited not to get this up. Peter A. DeLuca here, AKA Pad69, and say it with me, known through Philadelphia, PA, Europe, and the vast multiverse as your eclectic one. Going into this video, post intro, I showed you guys a little bit of Tim Sheridan. His plight, his screaming, help me, it went viral. It just blew people's minds. It blew my mind. Okay, and Tim Sheridan, with the help, people, we have to understand, this guy over here, Jim Lee, he's okay with everything Tim Sheridan has been doing to sell this comic book. But for Sheridan, he wanted to just split the column and said, this side's going to be evil, and this side, well, these are my future customers, and these people are going to lap up Green Lantern #1. Guys, back up. I am a marketing genius. Let me show the way to move modern day comics. So, WILDSTORM Wednesday, you guys know this is the long form study of WILDSTORM Productions. Jim Lee's former 90s publishing powerhouse went all the way to video games, no live action, but video games, Saturday morning cartoons, straight to video Gen 13, all covered on this channel. The reason why we're talking about Tim Sheridan and WILDSTORM is because Jim Lee's our guy in charge. He is so much in charge, he's not in charge. I'm not even sure what he does. And people, I think about this stuff. I study this stuff. I hoard over this stuff. I have DMs. So many of you reach out to me and we have long discussions in our threads just about Jim Lee and what is he doing with DC. And are we being a little too mean? Are we being a little too aggressive? Are we not giving him a chance? Are we not seeing the bigger picture? The benefit of the doubt. But I will tell you, the benefit of the doubt is over. I cannot even follow Jim Lee. I can't even go to his Instagram without my head exploding, because as Tim Sheridan divides not just the comic book world, but the market for DC Comics, Jim Lee is just gallivanting all over Europe, maybe marketing himself, maybe positioning himself on Warner Brothers dollar or on Discovery Cash. It's unfathomable that Jim Lee can have the lineage he has in just selling comic books and knowing what works, in harnessing talent, distributing talent, creating projects for said talent to show off their talent, and he just kind of doesn't even take a position, take a footing on this Green Lantern issue. The idea that Tim Sheridan is able to put out a video that strictly is meant to divide the comic book world, and Jim Lee is saying, you know what, this is going to be our focus. I'm okay with this. I am not going to be vocal. I am not going to put my foot down. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Hey guys, I did a couple of things on the Louis Vuitton bag. Like, anyone cares? The Jim Lee that we want is the Jim Lee we envisioned during those WILDSTORM years. And this is why these WILDSTORM Wednesday videos have become more important. Because the Jim Lee that we want, the Jim Lee that is in us because we loved his work so much, we want him to be that powerhouse. We want him to have the eye, the vision to find new talent. We want him to harness the editors and create projects for this talent that we know that he's capable of. Remember, Jim Lee is a great recruiter. Jim Lee is a great trainer. Jim Lee, because of his experience in WILDSTORM Productions, would be a perfect CEO and publisher of DC Comics. But what does he do, and what is he doing? There's been a lot of time, a lot of analysis, and I'm not exactly sure what Jim Lee actually does. Look, you gotta give a lot of credit. Todd McFarlane has, in a way, sold his companies and become a spokesperson for them while maintaining, like a 51 percentile. If any of Todd McFarlane's products appeal to you, more power to you. Rob Liefeld has used social media to destroy his own reputation and to rebuild it. I'm sorry, people. Observations is highly entertaining, very well done, very well thought out. You can have your views on Rob Liefeld's artwork, but Rob Liefeld does contribute to the conversations. Now, given McFarlane and Rob Liefeld, and just like Jim Lee, in my overall view, are just cowards because they don't strictly talk and address the issues. Todd McFarlane skirts around it, Rob Liefeld skirts around it, Jim Lee completely ignores it, and he is the most cowardly of the Image 7, and that is who he is to me, because I was there when he came on X-Men, went to the comic shop. I was there when his style developed. I was there when Wildcats dropped. I was there waiting for him to draw more of Deathblow. People, it goes on and on. I believe Jim Lee is one of the most powerful creative forces in comic book history, but Jim Lee will go down in history as the greatest what if of the 90s comic book boom. What if Jim Lee had balls? What if Jim Lee had management capabilities? What if Jim Lee had a vision for DC Comics? And what if Jim Lee didn't have DC? What would have happened if DC never acquired WILDSTORM Productions? These are all what ifs we'd rather see the outcomes of, other than any of the outcomes we have today. Jim Lee gallivanting as DC Burns, as right here, people, as this book divides the American comic book market. And it doesn't mean that the content of this book divides anything. It really doesn't. You like it or you don't. It's entertaining or it's not. But the messaging around it is what's divisive. And him to be as silent as he is a complete cowardly act. And if you don't agree with it, that's fine. Sound off below. We are here to talk. We are here to have discussions. We talk about everything on this channel. And I really even believe with my 1,500 subscribers, with my so-and-so views, that we contribute more to those conversations, because what I say and what the AKAPAD Army says is with conviction. It really is. Guys, subscribe, support, leave a comment, rock and roll, and flex.